go, this is for Gov. He's usually got the brace on here. What we need to make sure, probably the big important part here, is just no stretching of the finger back into full extension. When he takes it off the brace now, I usually put a towel on here, and we usually use this just to sterilise to start with. He's going to take his fingers into full extension, just taking them to full extension. She's allowed now to take them into full extension. We don't push this one back down through here because it'll stretch the graft, but we normally start by just using his little bit of cream, and we go through and spend probably 10 or 15 minutes going through and massaging all of the scar tissue through this part. I'll generally just support here just so that this doesn't get pushed back, and we can be quite hard with the scar tissue all through this area like so, and then also through this last little one here. And I'll normally spend quite a bit of time, really quite heavy, deep tissue massage. We're happy to passively flex the MCP into 90 degrees like so, and we can go through and do this individually, quite hard flexion into the MCP. And then what I'll also get him to do is, and then I'll also go through and do the individual PIP into full flexion like so, and then we can take his DIP into full flexion also. We can then also combine these nice and slowly and take him into full flexion in all of those into that position. I also then go through and spend some of the time isolating the joint, so he can now start some assisted flexion. So he takes it into flexion as much as he can, and then I just give him some assistance at the at the MCP, and he actively extends it back. He takes it into flexion at the MCP, and we assist it, and he takes it back, and we go through and do probably about, if you can go through and do 50 to 100 of those, that'd be great. We then stabilize him at the, we stabilize the proximal phalanx, and he takes it up into active flexion. You can only take it a certain, with the active flexion, no resisted active flexion. It's just an active flexion with no resistance, and then we just give him a little bit of a push of the PIP into the end of range, and he'll actively extend it backwards, take it up into that position, and just give him some flexion, about 50 to 100 of those. We then isolate. I don't push too much down through the tendon here. You can, it's just sometimes resist, but he'll take his finger into an active flexion position, and then we just assist him just into active flexion there, and then he actively takes it into extension. He actively takes it up into as much flexion as he can, and we actively assist him to end of range. And I normally do a set of 10 of those, and then I get him just to do a little oscillation just to try and get a little bit of movement independently at the end. Or alternatively, I can take him into this position and stabilize on the outside, and it's not bad, that's good. And he'll go through and do some 10 or 15 of the active little movements into flexion, and then we can take him back down into the supported position, support again over here, just flex it. So that's excellent, that's moving nicely actually. So take it into active flexion, take it up to active flexion, hold it, and then we just assist him into the DIP forced active flexion, and he actively takes it into extension. The other thing that he's also been getting stiff at is, thanks, Connor, can you just grab that phone? Do you mind just for 1 sec, sorry? And I'm just going to stretch his other joints just into flexion like so. Great, that's all. Thanks, Liam.